Jason, don't know what time you're going to be getting this, but anyways, Miguel Baldwin, Director of Sales Operations, one of the founders for FoldedPak, and this is one of our technicians, Jeff Green, and we're here to talk about the initial setup of the equipment and everything. Jeff will go through what the pallet's going to look like when you first get it, and then we'll be able to make decisions on how to lift and lower it onto the base itself. So we'll go through that.
All right. So originally, it's going to show up packaged like this one. It's going to have the saran wrap on it, and it's going to have these straps across the bottom holding it in place. What you need to do is cut the bands on it, and you can use the forklift at the very bottom and just lift it up and slide the pallet out and set it down. And once you're there, undo the saran wrap, and we're at this point over here. And we'll come with the base with the top portion all the way up. Is what we'll need to do is make sure you have this connector plugged in, and then you can move the trolley up and down that way. So because what you want to do is you want to bring it all the way down, and it'll stop on its own. And then from here, we'll get the head, put it onto a forklift, and then from the forklift, you can just slide it onto here.
And one thing to note about these, when you look at it, there's actually nothing that holds the actual folding mechanism to the base itself. There's actually 4 pegs that will sit in these holes, and we'll place the machine on there and show you how to do it. It's just very important that as you slide the machine over, that as somebody in the warehouse is working, that they do not get their fingers pinched back here in the back of the unit as they put it on there, and we'll show you how that goes with it. So with that, we're going to do this, and we'll put this machine right here onto the forklift right here. And this door, if you notice, this is the door that opens, will actually need to be facing this open section in the back right here. The unit itself, when you look at this in U.S. measurements, this weighs around 160 pounds U.S. So any mathematician over there can convert it over to your kilos with it. But we always tell people a minimum of 2 people to hold it. The majority of the weight of this machine sits from here going forward. So you just have to be careful that the weight falls right in here. Picking it up by the handle. Do not pick it up here, but you can pick it up by the shaft when you get ready to move it. So we'll move that right now. And you just set on a forklift like we've done. And then I've got that. Thanks.
And then you just bring the assembly over. Position it to just a little bit above where it's going to sit on the unit.
You have these locking back wheels on here. Make sure that whenever you move the base, we always lock it just to give it a little bit of breakage. Here's what I'm talking about pinching. We will be grabbing the case here, and I don't want this, when I'm grabbing this, to pinch my fingers when I put it back in here.
There's a little bit of room, but not enough that most fingers aren't going to get at least squished a little bit, so you need to be careful of that.
All right. So you can see the pegs, and we'll start sliding it over, and you just have to be a little bit careful when you put it on, not to pinch yourself. Okay. And you can see underneath here how they sit right onto the pegs. So you now have installed the folding mechanism. I talked about the door being in the back that we can open up, and we'll go through that in a few minutes. But you can see how the machine sits on there. Now, you want to take your power connector, and you take the power connector and you squeeze the side tabs, which lock it into it. And now the connector is hooked up to the machine itself, and the machine is active and ready to be moved.
And you can tell by the message across the front here on the panel, it'll say press start to run. which indicates that the machine and the control board are communicating the way that they're supposed to.
Okay, that'll be the machine setup. One thing that you know, and some of our bases are bases that swivel, some of them are not. You can see in this one we have a rotating base. We have a 10 millimeter bolt that's inside this. You can take this off, and then it enables you to take and swivel the tray 180 degrees and back. It's important to note that the connector for the power cord that comes into the unit does not swivel with it. So if you turn it one way, make sure you turn it back the exact way so we're not wrapping the cord around the base itself. So I think that's it on the system. We will give you another DVD on the use of the equipment and the safety aspects of it. And I think you'll be up and running in